Good evening, everybody. Would like to bring to order the City of Nelson City Council meeting January the 9th, 2023. And start the board of prayer. Father God, we thank you for today, Lord. We ask you to be with us. We ask you to lead, guide, and direct us in each and every decision we make for the city tonight, Father. Be with our servicemen, our EMTs, our police, our firemen, Father God, in the counties. Lord, keep them safe. We ask you, Jesus' name. Mr. James, pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Boy, that's scary.
Make it by ear.
Well,
True.
break some windows.
I get a motion to approve the agenda for this evening.
I make a motion.
You get a second? Okay, Janice, David, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right, and public appearance, we don't have anybody, so we'll go ahead and skip that one. And approval of the minutes for the December the 12th, 2022 meeting. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
I make a motion.
James, second.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right, and next up is department reports. Lieutenant Downey.
Yeah, for the month of December, it was pretty slow. Really our third month in a row, I guess, but that's a good thing. We did have one suspicious person that we checked on that was down at the pavilion at the park. And then we extra patrolled that area for a couple of days just to make sure we know who it is. One noise violation and a minor theft off Nelson Drive. Other than that, pretty quiet.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor's report. So mid-month, I'm supposed to reach out to Chris Stansel regarding the IGA for the code enforcement at the discretion of the council, with court being held here. They're supposed to be hiring a new marshal. Do you know if that's happened?
I don't think it's
He said around the 19th. So
I believe it's happened.
before our next meeting, we'll have an answer on that. Easter 2023 it's coming up. I want to make sure that we're on the same page so we can do a little bit better planning. Are we still good for our Easter city Easter event? You agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll get that, start working on that, and then our audit was filed. And do we have her set up for next month's meeting?
I don't know if she'll be here or not. I probably have it on the agenda.
Okay.
I don't know if they're coming or not.
Okay. If not, maybe they can join by audio. You guys good with that? They can't make it in? Okay. Let's see about it. Nathan, congratulations on your sign. This was a collective effort from your council family and myself and Mr. Downey. So
I appreciate it.
Congratulations. Miranda, do you want to take into our finances?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so with the audit being back, we can now do the transfer of over into our cash reserve based off of the fund balance numbers. General fund, we're at $1,297,977. SPOS 4 is $226,234. SPOS 2 is $335,877. SPOS 5, $683,819. The cash reserves at $167,517. SPOS 2020 is $686,711. And then the grant fund is $252,415. And currently we are looking at, 38% remaining budget on our revenues, which it should be 50%. So we're looking good there. Our overall budget is remaining budget of 68,400, or 68%, sorry. And that should be 50% or more, so we're doing good there. And one of the things you'll see later on in this budget, or in this meeting, is the budget for the CARES grant. We need to go ahead and adopt the budget for this year since we didn't technically have those funds. That's one of the things that the audit will reveal, is that we didn't adopt a budget ahead of time for those funds, which we had no funds. So we're going to do that tonight if we can for this year.
There's 9B.
Other than that, that's all I got.
Any questions for Miranda? Okay. We'll move on to number 8, city sanitation services. So Jeff did email back.
It's back for 8. I just checked out some of the back.
So it can be done. Our surrounding cities are doing sanitation services, mandatory sanitation services. Ball Ground, Alaska, Jasper, Kennesaw, Canton. So it can be done. And we can opt to, if they need relief, if somebody needs relief, and we'd go ahead and adopt this, which we should, based on our conversations from when we ordered the truck and stuff. We had a unanimous that we were going to do city sanitation, citywide sanitation. So we can opt and do, and have if somebody needs relief, truly needs relief, then we can look at it as a council and make those determinations as a group. With that said, let's see what Jeff's verbiage was. His verbiage was, sanitation services, I think we can allow to opt out, but there probably needs to be some kind of application where the person swears that they need relief and that they will not utilize other trash services. And again, that brings us to Kelsey. She's not planning on, after tonight we have a formal vote, not planning on renewing the business regulatory fees.
The letters haven't been sent out.
She has not sent out yet. So. We can also delete the regulatory fees, which she says until all trash services, the city is now providing their service instead. Do we need to run that in the paper since we've been doing it or not?
I don't know, I can ask John.
Because the ones that are picking up in here now, most of that, there's probably 1 or 2 mom and pops that I've seen that have no logo, and that there's not really a way to track them to know who they are. I know the trucks, but don't know who the company is. The other ones that we can notify via mail, probably via certified mail, that they can no longer operate within city limits as of the date, I don't think. The big companies are going to be the ones you will have an issue with, probably. Just because it's different addresses, different.
Discussion,
I need to send letters to all companies.
Have you seen Blake's Pro picking up in you?
I think Waste Pro's here.
Yeah, they're in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
Those blue,
Yeah, they got it.
it used to be something else though, it's the same deal, it's been bought and bought and bought and
Yeah.
bought, but now it's Waste Pro.
yeah,
In our
I think it was
neighborhood.
Santec and then Waste Pro
Yeah.
bought Santec.
Because before that, it was maybe Malden. We
Yeah,
had Malden
Malden.
originally, and then it got swallowed
We had
up.
Malden, they got bought out,
Yeah.
when I found out we changed to the city, I can't remember who bought them.
Yeah.
Took us on between J and S.
But they just brought everybody brand new, bright blue cans, and I think that's the Waste
Yeah.
Pro. But I don't
There's only a
know.
handful of them in
The
here.
Waste Pro, Waste Management,
Yeah, that's the waste management.
those different?
But I think it's different.
Yeah, it's new.
Waste Pro just started up a couple of years ago.
I've got a list of the ones that paid last year, but there's only a few of them, because the big
I
ones
think
keep
the one
buying
that
out
bought
mom
Malden
and
was
pop.
out in Florida or something.
Yeah.
That was Advanced. Advanced was out of Florida,
We had,
but I think they got bought out.
Hmm.
But the building stuff is still going through though.
I think it'll go a long way.
Cycle Works is picking up too, and they're at Ball Ground.
It'll go a long way and save on our roads. That's the main things.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with the application to opt out, but just promising you're not gonna use it outside the source and not, because I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, because I've always hauled mine off once a week.
I understand that, but we were all in agreement when we spent money to buy a trash truck and cans.
You know,
But this was never talked about forcing a tax. This is more or less a tax on everybody.
I think
Let's
it's,
talk about,
it
No,
was,
but
because we discussed it because
we
all the other
discussed
cities.
never
enforce
let
it.
another truck come in here and pick up garbage, but not forcing every citizen in Nelson.
we had, the verbiage was citywide sanitation services.
Yeah.
And if you go back,
We
and-
would provide it,
yes, well, we not provided,
not
but
force it. That's two different things.
I think if you go back and look at the, yeah,
Talk about it being mandatory.
yeah.
Well, mandatory that we had to use the city services if we used them, but I ain't got no problem with stopping everybody from coming in town, but I think we need to leave an option. If you want to take yours up there to the recycle, you can go do it to recycle. But not hire somebody else to come in here and do it for you.
Yeah.
Well, if you got an application and catch a truck and they're emptying somebody's garbage, you can be like, hey, you signed this saying you want to use the service. And you can go back on that pretty easy. That's all I was.
I mean,
for
can
it,
you-
though.
Can you find somebody like that if you don't make it mandatory though?
So you could have language in there that if, in whatever application that they sign, that if they are found to be violating it, then there will be a fine or whatever the amount is. But yeah, you could definitely write it up so that there is some sort of a fine for non-compliance.
That's fine with me. I mean,
Yeah, that sounds good.
But if somebody wants to go take theirs
Yeah.
up there, I don't see where we need to force them to use something.
I think we're gonna have plenty of business anyways.
Yeah. Because we're cheaper than anybody else.
And we are cheaper than
Yeah.
everybody else.
But you got some of the older people don't have one bag a week. I mean,
Yeah.
if they're gonna go up there and do it for $4 a month, and I know we're not charging them 15, but still,
You know,
some people it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, having a waiver for those type of people is definitely the right way to do it.
we had this citizen call and said that he was originally against it, but now he has, he's got a medical condition and can't do it anymore, so, well, I think that, you know, it'll.
I think most people sign up for it, they're fine with it, but you're gonna have a few that, if they go by there every day or something like that, it'll make them sign affidavits swearing that they're not gonna hire somebody to do it. Or-
Well, we can
Or we can
find
find
people if the companies come in here too, can't we? Can we find them or not? Or we find that owner?
You can, but it's a lot harder to keep up with people that are not wanting to have service, to try to track them down, to get them to sign a waiver stating that they're not gonna use another service or do whatever, versus making it mandatory to use city service, and you have an opt-out clause for people that are having financial trouble.
So the process, a process would be to, citywide service only. Or
It's
you,
like when we lived in Kennesaw, I mean, it was mandatory to have city service, and it was, I think they added it to like the water bill or something.
I think Jasper does it, but they don't charge nobody nothing for it, I think, what it is, but.
oh, they do, their water bill's 30, it's all lumped in there.
Right.
It's all lumped in. They just charge it, they're just charging a ton of money for their water, like just a base fee,
It was
$35.
a line item in the water, with the water bill.
Where would this be? Would you do separate trash
Would-
bill like
would
you do
be
now, or
just
would
like we
be?
do now. That's what I'm saying, it'd be a whole lot harder to have it, like an opt-out thing, and then try to track and monitor someone to try to catch them doing something they're not supposed to do, versus it being like an opt-out for financial hardship.
And you know the way people are around here, somebody's gonna rat somebody out.
One of the biggest ones you probably have to watch out for would be any of the little mom and pops.
Yeah.
One truck running around grabbing something here or there.
Yeah,
Not
well, there's
probably
a Chevy
not,
pickup that's in here now doing that, but there's no logos on it.
but we're not even paying a regulatory fee.
No, because I have no idea, like I've seen it, I know what they're doing, but I don't know who they are.
We need to put out a notice to the citizens and then,
Yeah, well, we can tell the companies, but I think we need to send out letters, just like we did with like the stuff in the master park, the survey thing, something like that.
So notify the service providers and then also notify the residents.
All citizens.
Yeah, that we're going to a citywide sanitation services.
And it wouldn't be applicable to just lots, it's just residents.
Yeah.
and then if anybody questions it, you could bring up the opt-out if they come up and say, hey, I only put out 1 bag a week and I always drop it off at so-and-so. Well, here's the form for that. Just have to have a spreadsheet or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we track like all the trash cans, there's number, like cart numbers on there, there's a spreadsheet that they sign a form for that, we can track
And then
it.
someone to deliver some of those too for some people.
Yeah, well,
Get the cans
the
out to them.
maintenance department.
They drop them.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're even fast times. So
Now, they gotta come in and sign papers and stuff.
that, or they can even email them. I just have to have some way, so, because the auditors love to audit anything regarding SPOS, so I don't want stuff out that I don't know where it is.
But when they carry the cans to deliver it, they can carry the papers and get it signed.
Well, I know, because I have to know which can is at what house,
Yeah.
so before it leaves here, it's already in a spreadsheet with a
Right.
cart number assigned. So then there's a paper attached to the top of the cart, with the
Right.
name, address, cart number. So once it's done, the account's paid for, sheet signed, then the cart goes. If it wasn't SPOS money, I wouldn't be quite as concerned about it, but
They got serial numbers on them too.
Yeah.
yeah, there's serial number on the front of it.
Yeah, you have to be able to track them. Alright. So, let me recap. We're good with city-only sanitation services.
With the opt-out.
With, you can opt out to dispose of your own, but you cannot use another provider to take it somewhere.
Yeah.
Notify all service providers, notify residents, not the lots, just the residents, that we are going to a citywide sanitation service.
And tell them how much it is. I mean, they're
Yeah.
gonna save,
Oh, yeah,
you know, $10, $15 a month.
yeah.
And we got cans, so that's.
Well, basically, the costs has remained the same for right now. What I've seen, now I've not been here but 5 years, but and I've been I've been here 26 years, but it's always been very low. I don't know of it ever being more than what it is now.
No. I think so.
It was cheaper when I switched over to
12, yeah. I mean,
That's
I
very, very.
had
Trail
trouble.
City address their shop. The sanitation department workers pay. Because it's gonna.
Their hours are gonna go up.
Yeah, they
But
will.
their hourly wages are not where they need to be either.
We can we'll discuss that in our next meeting.
Is that on the next meeting we'll talk about?
Yeah, we'll discuss that, and then, we need to find out exactly, when would we want this to start? What's our start date? So February 1st?
Do we have to advertise in the paper?
So yeah, that would be the question that's sort of pending, so we'll do some research into that, and that might determine when you can start, but I would think, let's get January
Let's
9th
do-
today.
Let's do March.
March will give you plenty of time, February 1st, maybe
You
you
need
can
to
do
think
it,
about
but.
too, if people have paid up for a quarter or whatever already.
Well, it's the same cost.
Well, he's saying for another.
No, if they paid advanced or somebody already for the quarter, usually pay ahead.
Yeah, you pay for 3 months ahead, you're right.
But it's the same price.
But you'd have to
She's
pay
saying
twice
they
for
paid
the month.
another
If they
company.
paid somebody else already.
Oh,
They
okay.
will normally give it back to you, but then you gotta
Put
chase
people through
them.
having to go through getting refunds and
Yeah.
all that.
Because we did that with JNS when we went to Nelson.
So January, February, March, that's your first quarter, so March the
Generally,
1st?
it went
Or
quarter.
the April
first.
1st.
Or April the 1st?
Yeah, we need to send out those letters immediately, though, where everybody can make sure they don't.
Alright, so
Right.
April the 1st. And then just, if you could just make a note, and I'll make a note here, for me to get with you.
And just written an article or the ad for the lot and email me today. It doesn't pay to, I'm on Pickens Street.
Okay. And then, yeah, if you could get back with us on that, just do we need to run that? So we'll go ahead and do A9, that should cover that.
Trying to quit.
Anybody else? Is there anything that you think I'm missing or?
We need to set a fine for if somebody
Okay,
hires
okay,
someone
fine.
on site after it's all said and done.
It needs to be a
Just standard misdemeanor.
increased
like a
fine
one
too, like a
warning.
one-time and then, you know,
So, what do you think the fine should be?
We have a basement, like a base misdemeanor.
I'm sure we do, and there's a fee schedule on all of
About a
those.
quarter, like $45, that's a quarterly charge to begin with, and then if it's repeated, go up from there or something.
Yeah.
Or do y'all think?
I mean, I think that, don't do it again, and then there's, hey,
Definitely warning first time.
seriously? So fine, so first offense is gonna be 45?
Well, we can do a warning the first time, then a fine the second time, I don't care.
Yeah, that would sound a lot better.
And just tell them, hey, next time it's gonna be a fine.
So
Second time I do like $50, so it's easier to remember.
Yeah.
Fine.
And then third time like 100.
Okay. Fourth time we come in and have court. On court on it. Can't behave, bringing you in. So, okay, so we've got that.
Well, if you figure if the people are doing it to save money, they're taking their stuff already, they're probably not gonna stop and hire somebody outside, so
Exactly.
they're not gonna have too much of an issue with it.
I don't really think we are
Well,
either.
most of the companies will know not to be in here too, so it'd be more.
So just be catching those one-offs, it might be.
So I'm just trying to think if I've missed anything, so we've got to find, you have the application to opt out to carry your own. We've got start date of April the 1st. Action, Jeff.
Maybe on there too, also tell them that they get the can, because that was a thing, when I tried to
That's
tell
what we
people
did
about,
at first, was because they didn't have a can.
because when I tried to tell people about doing Nelson, they were like, we get a can? Like, they thought they had to pay for the can.
I've told a couple of them already that I know are using
Coming
it,
in, yeah.
and they still haven't come and got the can.
Yeah.
I'm christening them up on the corner.
Right.
Nelson's picked theirs up all this time, they haven't even come and got a can yet.
Yeah. And I sent the applications out with the trash bills a couple times ago. So,
But for people that are, thinking, because it used to be that you didn't get a can.
Mhm.
So the people from a while ago would say, well, now I have to give them a can. No, you don't have to get a can.
Yeah.
So you're good and you're paying half as much
Yeah.
as you were. So,
Well, then there's a thing on there, like if you intentionally damage it, it's like approximately $100 to replace it. But then people think that we're charging them.
Mhm.
It's just like if you go intentionally, like blow it up or.
Burn it or
Yeah. Like
Can we work on getting those things delivered to the customers we already have?
That's what we've been doing, they have to fill out that sheet. So I sent the sheets out with the bills, every time somebody calls about it, I ask if they have the can. If they come in, we ask if they have the can. So we've got, I can't remember how many, it's over 100 that are out now. We have 230 customers or
Pick
so.
up anything that's not in the Nelson can anymore.
Do what?
I'm not gonna pick up anything that's not in the Nelson can.
After
starting
April the 1st.
Well, but the catch is that some of the people have cans that are city residents, that are city customers. So that some of those other companies didn't have to pick up their cans. So you have people that are using was it North Metro cans?
Oh,
and they're
leftover
using-
can, you said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's kind of the issue too, so Stephen's pretty good about keeping up with it. There's a lot of people that have old cans that just,
So they might
when
not
they're
know what
using
to
the
do
other
with their own
can.
can.
Yeah, where they're gonna do with the
they
old
don't pick them
can.
up.
And they don't want another can
Yeah,
sitting
I've
there.
had some of them, I just tell them just to
That
put it in
makes
the dumpster if
sense.
they wanna trash it, but I don't know.
Okay, good compost cans.
They want those.
They wouldn't make good compost
You'd
kids.
think that the companies would pick them
We
up.
want them,
Well, I
yeah.
made the company now, they pick mine up really quick, remember, I tell my service now.
Yeah, they pick
Like
them
the
up
sugar,
really
they,
quick.
It took me about a month to come to ours.
they got ours the next day.
So, is everybody good on that? Did we think we covered everything? Okay, so, let's see if I can get this right. So make a motion, I need to make, ask me to make a motion to approve citywide sanitation services. Fines, first time is a warning, second time $50, third time's $100. There will be an application to opt out. Start date is April the 1st. This will be city sanitation only. Notify all services that are managed. The administration will notify all service providers that we're not going to have other providers in the city, and we will notify the residents, not the lot owners, just the residents, of the sanitation, city-wide sanitation services, the cost, the can, and provide all the information with the fines, and et cetera.
Just to clarify too about the purpose of the fine. Because you said the fine, like just to make sure it's clear why they have the fine.
The purpose of the fine, and so the purpose of the fine is if they use another provider to come into the city and pick up trash.
Yeah.
So can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Okay.
Yeah, you should repeat that.
James, all in favor?
Do we have a second?
David did,
James
so
first.
James, David, and then all of it was unanimous, so, yes, ma'am. All right, next up is yearly appointments. Let's see what we've got. We'll go over the 2022 appointments from last year. Mayor Pro Tem was James Queen. Municipal Judge was Darryl Caldwell. City Attorney, Mr. Jeff Rusbridge. City Solicitor, Mr. Jeff Rusbridge. City Building Inspector, William Fortner. Finance Manager, Miss Miranda McDowell. City Clerk, Miss Kelsey Reel. And then check signer, Sylvia Green, James Queen, Mr. William Taylor, Mr. Nathan Hamby, and Miss Kelsey Reel. So, would you like to be a check signer? Sure. Okay. Well, it helps when we can't get, you know, and it put, I like everybody's eyes on it. It works for us. So, let's start off with Mayor Pro Tem.
I think we've got a professional one of those.
All in favor for James Queen? Unanimous?
So,
James, I want to take a minute to tell you thank you for all of your efforts in 2022. I don't think we've ever made a phone call to you that you didn't come down here right away and help us out.
That's what I was elected to do.
And we appreciate you doing it too. Thank you. Our municipal judge, Mr. Darryl Caldwell, is it called? Is that called? Caudell? All in favor for Mr. Darryl Caldwell? Unanimous? Okay, so it stays the same. City Attorney, Mr. Jeff Rusbridge.
I don't know.
All in favor?
Should we discuss that?
Same. We give him a hard time, but we really like it. And then our city solicitor, Mr. Jeff Rusbridge. All in favor for that? Unanimous, thank you. And city building inspector, Mr. William Fortner. We all good with that? All in favor? Okay. City finance manager, Miss Miranda McDowell.
Let me close my ears.
Unanimous, thank you. And then our city clerk, Kelsey Reel.
I'm going to object to that one.
Same, thank you, unanimous. And then our check signers, Sylvia Green, James Queen, William Taylor, Mr. Nathan Hamby, and Kelsey Reel, and adding our newest member to the council, Chrissy. Chrissy, how do you spell your last name?
MacMeill.
I'm not spelling it right. Okay, so adding. All right, thank you guys so much.
When you do this, do you want to do a motion to approve?
Can I get a motion to approve the appointments for 2023 that we just outlined?
I'll move, motion to approve it.
David, can I get a second? William Taylor, all in favor? Unanimous. Okay. It does. Thank you We're keeping you on track. Qualifying fees, 2023. Kelsey, I'm gonna turn that one over to you.
Qualifying fees have to be done beginning of each year pursuant to OCGA 21-131A20. They've been $25 every year for the mayor and for council, assuming all of you on the same, but up to you.
Can I get a motion to approve the mayor qualifying fees at 25 and the council qualifying fees at 25?
I'll make a motion to keep mayor's at 25 and council at 25.
Your second, James Queen, unanimous, all in favor? Unanimous. And then, maintenance equipment, attachment for the Bobcat, I'm gonna turn that over to you since you know.
And Matt's here if there's any questions, throw them under the bus again. And this is an attachment that would help clear out the right-of-way ditches when necessary. There's some issues, especially on North Avenue right now. Arlene Dean has had some issues due to there not being a drainage ditch on the other side of the road from her. And it would also just help just keeping stuff cleared out in general. This blade will actually tip, kind of angle, move around, whatever, whereas the current ones do not.
For the ditch, like on the highway over here?
More so like the right-of-ways on the in-city streets, I would think.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
speaking out of turn.
It's basically a dozer blade, 6-way dozer blade. So you can put it at any angle so we can sit, on the road basically and put the edge of it, whatever angle you want the ditch to be, and just run a straight, smooth ditch, like anywhere you want to run it.
I know that we get a lot of overgrowth out here as you're coming in on Kennesaw, on the very edge right there, and we couldn't do it with the tractor because of the stalks on that stuff.
I think that'll be the mini X, right?
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, all right, so
That's
that's a little
enough.
bit
This is
different.
more like running, there's a few houses, probably more than a few, that have, basically you have like the little drainage thing and they've filled it in so it's perfectly flat. So then the people around them get the runoff from their yard, especially if they're at a lower incline than the neighbors across the streets, and then the water just continues on into their yards and into their houses. And
Okay. So this is a blade, it's not.
yeah, it's just a blade
It's just
attachment.
Kind of,
Yeah,
So
that
it
they can
opens it up.
actually move the angles and stuff of it.
The
whereas
problem with that, I don't think the arms under that is strong enough for it.
Whenever I talked to the guy at Bobcat, he specifically asked me what it was for, and I told him. So he said that this would work.
For a tool
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah, because it's not to do like real heavy stuff. It's
Well, what
just
about the Bobcat we got on order?
The excavator.
that I
the
have
excavator.
emailed them the other day, and I'm waiting on a response back. They
See,
picked
the
the trailer up
excavator
today.
will have a blade on it.
Yeah, it comes with a 4-way blade.
Yeah, I mean, it will, but
If it's got one, I haven't seen even another one.
are we keeping both?
Yeah.
It's different machines. But the Bobcat there is kind of all over the place,
Yeah.
where they can kind of just go all over town and clear it out, whereas the Mini X is more of a specialized tool.
Yeah, that Bobcat gets used all the time.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
What about it? What have you heard from the trailer?
They picked it up today. It's here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they got it this afternoon or this morning, and I've got to get the tag. That's what she was signing the paperwork, because,
For the tag?
yeah, so I have the authority to sign to get the tag for the city.
You'd like to get chains and bolts and everything for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got to get a metal door to replace the one down at the park bathroom, because it blew open so many times during, and it was super cold, but the toilet bottom cracked and blew out. So, and we also had to order a new toilet, so.
Yeah, I can see where, this would be needed. If the Mini X is gonna be more of a stationary to do projects with, where if we just need something done right now, we can put that blade on a Bobcat and just go where we need, because it just goes all over town anyway.
Well, this could be used to like clear out ditches, kind of.
The only problem is it's not made for that.
It's not,
No. The arms are not made for it. That blade's heavy. And it puts all the pressure in one point because you angle it. I've used them before, but they're not made for something that light duty. But now the excavator we're getting's got the blade on it. I mean, it ain't gonna be that big a deal to use it. And it's got tracks on it, which won't spin like the rubber tires.
but the blade does not tilt the escalator, that's the only problem.
No, you just gotta know how to use it.
so,
Well, yeah, it tilts 4-way, not 6-way.
Well, that was the thing with this one, is to get it up at the angle, so it could go down and get the right-of-way ditches.
Yeah. In my opinion, I don't think the machine's heavy enough to run it, but I don't care really, but.
How much they want for that blade?
It's 55, it's normally 7,400, maybe we get a government discount of like right at 2,000. And they're also trying to find there's a trailer thing that, like a vacuum spray thing to help clean out some of the ditch, like the
Yeah,
pipe
got
things.
send me the
Going
price sheet
forward, so we don't have to
today.
keep hiring someone to try to get that. We've been on the waiting list for like 2 years.
Put a vacuum for the leaves and
Yeah.
stuff, and that would be more useful than the blade, in my opinion. But it'd probably be more expensive too, I think, but
Yeah.
if it's something we can use, I ain't got a problem with it.
I think it'd go a long way. We can't get them out here. We can't, I mean, the county's wrapped up between COVID and everything else. You can't get them out here to,
Well, that's
Clean
different
our
than this
drains.
though. This is more just trying to get some of the right-of-way stuff taken care of, because we have several people complaining about just ongoing issues for stuff that's in the right way.
But you don't know when the excavator will be used.
I emailed them twice. I emailed them again, it was actually like 2 days
They're
ago.
getting some stuff in, but they got a lot of stuff.
We were first on the list, so when they get one in, we're technically supposed to get the first one.
Who did you order from?
It was 2 different guys, like Logan, somebody, and John, somebody are on the emails that come in. Because one of them did the pricing for the ones we're trading in, and then the other guy was giving the quotes. So they're both on the emails when we're sending them.
you have time this week to go with Matt and let him show you what he's talking about?
I have the brochure thing, like a printout of the online things. that
Like
Matt
what
does.
he's looking at cleaning, maybe how much it is that we need to keep clean to maintain that we haven't been able to do.
Oh, on the cover. I know what you're talking about on the cover.
No, I mean for this, for the use for this blade. That's $55.
Be right.
Okay. Friday good for you? All right.
Let me just tell you what.
Yeah. We do. Matt. Okay. And then, take a look, we also take a look at the brochure and everything, and if you have any questions for Nelson Tractor, and then comment back.
It'll be, the list come from Bobcat or Nelson Tractor?
This is a Bobcat attachment.
That's what I think.
Yeah, because I think he said they have one in stock too, so.
Anybody else have any comments on that?
He knows more about it than I do.
Anybody else?
Like I said, when it comes to equipment,
Yeah.
the only thing I wonder about over the blade, you don't be able to clean out culverts and stuff with just a blade, no matter how many different ways
So,
it tips.
yeah,
That's
no,
what
this
the
was
bucket
just
would
to-
be for.
Because people, they blow their leaves, sticks, anything into the little drain of the ditches, and they complain that they don't get cleaned out. And Ricky and Matt will clean them out, and we blow everything back in there. But it also accumulates where it'll kind of turn into just dirt and everything else with rain, and so it just becomes an ongoing
This
issue.
would be
Then you have the
for
ones that
more
fill
long,
in.
straight runs,
Yeah,
just keeping them pushed out as
Yeah.
opposed to any digging or anything.
yeah.
Hillside's probably a good example of that too.
Hillside, North,
Hillside, and Hillside's is, it's terrible.
it's
until we
more
get
the
it
old
situated.
Nelson, it's not the
Yeah.
neighborhoods that have that issue.
It's in downtown, just
I'm
trying,
leaning more towards the vacuum than I'm with
you know.
something keeping leaves out.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a different, it's like 2 separate
Right.
problems and 2 separate tools.
Yeah, one is cleaning out the culverts, and one is cleaning out the ditch. All right,
And the gravel was put in a few too, so we need to get a quote to do a whole line thing or whatever you're doing.
are we gonna do that? Are we gonna, do we know if we're gonna do, have we heard any more on the property?
Not yet,
Not a word?
not yet.
I said we hold off on a structure myself.
I did get I got Chase to just give me run the dollars on just the cost, what it would cost to actually put something there. not what it would cost if you hire a company, but just what the material would be. So I do have that, so I know about what it would take, but I was hoping that we would hear back something from that property. Because I would like, if we could get 2 acres, we could build a nice maintenance park.
Where's the, is it on Pickens Street?
The end down there.
Nelson, right outside city limits. There you go.
Fingers crossed.
Close to the stair place.
Yeah, but on the other side of the road.
On the other side of the road.
There at the Marble Court entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be annexed in.
But doable. But we can at least park stuff up there now, where the gravel's at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
Haycock did a
trucks
break.
out there now, forget to.
I think so, Haycock finished a bit of break.
You want to take a look at that? I'll do it on Friday with you.
He come in on budget or.
It was exactly what the quote was.
This one.
It was exactly what the quote was. It was $9,080.
I know if he had to wait till after January, it was like $3 a ton more expensive.
Nothing that surprises me anymore. It's like going buy eggs right now, you might as well have gold. I went to Walmart the other day, it was like $6 for a dozen eggs. Because somebody had put the wrong tag out.
Miranda, ARPA grant budget. Move on. Table this one here until we can take a look at it.
So this is the same grant, the $257,111 we got last year. And we received the funds for this in August of this year. So we just need to adopt a budget. So what I did with the last round of funds, how we dispersed it then, I just rolled that forward. But you guys can give me any kind of feedback on how you want to allocate that. We kind of have to have some way to allocate how we're going to spend those funds. And I think for the most part, I understand that the infrastructure, the same way we did last time, was what we were going to use it for.
Yeah, I've got a note to reach out to Barry on our Barry Holbert for the storm drain master plan. So I'll do that this week. I know he was covered up. I'll reach out to him tomorrow.
I know I remember some mention of the potential contributions to the nonprofits again. I don't know if
Right.
that's something I want to do.
We did the first round of it, and it was, I think the way it was read, it was the first 5,000, but possibility of the second 5,000.
Did we get pictures back then for the?
I've gotten a lot of them. I think there's a couple of them, I haven't gotten a lot of them.
We got some doors, window on.
Yeah, your preacher actually stopped by the other day. It was whenever I was sick. And
The what?
The preacher.
I did you?
He was in a red pickup truck.
Young apartment.
Yeah. He came by and showed me pictures. And it was whatever, because I was sick and I had everything closed and still working, but he was showing pictures of stuff that he was going to try to send us down, so he was going to print it.
So,
The doors has been up like 43 years.
of course, the 5,000 for our nonprofits, how do we feel about that? Will you, Taylor, start with you?
Like I said, as long as they can show the first round's
Okay.
been used and used the right way, I don't have a problem.
James?
Yeah, because we have to report on it, so it's,
Yeah, we do
we have to track it.
You're good? Nathan? Churches in the school? Chrissy, churches in the school, second round, 5,000? Okay. So we need to get letters, from the first round. And then the ones that we have, we can disperse about, okay. All right, the next on here was hazard pay, and you get, or, the next on here was hazard pay.
And that was based off of last year's.
Yeah, so we did we do 2,200 each?
It was 1,000 each, but I think it was
Well,
set up, 'cause
yeah,
it's like the
it's divided up
processing
into
fee
the
or
different
something.
categories.
So I'm seeing 2,200.
It's the ADP fees.
And then go down to the next one.
bonus pay, hazard pay, and then bonus pay. So we just, and that went out to our employees,
Yep.
just the, like, we did sanitation, we did
Maintenance.
maintenance.
And then, Miranda and I after that, because they changed the rules after the initial ones went out. But Arnold rule thing, they constantly change it.
Okay. Do you guys, how do you feel about doing the hazard pay with the second round? William Taylor?
I'm fine with it myself, I think I'm willing
Okay.
Jane said he wants one too, though.
to. Yeah.
James is, yeah, William Taylor?
I'm a little mixed on that. The hazard pay was for working during everything, basically, so I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Can we use it on the streets and stuff like that?
Yeah, we're gonna use, we're gonna do this budget.
Yeah.
I mean, that was for working through the COVID, so if we can use it on our streets and stuff, I think that would be more of a everybody benefits type deal.
So let's add that to the 226,000.
We need to get some more paving and stuff done.
Well, it's added to our infrastructure line item.
Which part?
I think we have 3 roads that Cherokee's currently supposed to be doing for us.
So that would be amending, removing the hazard pay and amending the infrastructure to $232,611. And that would be the 2 line items.
232 what?
611.
So we're gonna amend, okay.
So if we just want to adopt it with those amendments to it, that would be
What does everybody else think?
That'd be fine, I think.
Nathan?
I feel like William, like since the pandemic and stuff's over, I mean, that's what they was using it for mainly.
And there's other things that if y'all, if you can,
Yeah, there's other stuff that can be used for it. I honestly don't know if we can do it around it, but I'm not sure.
probably not, I don't know, I didn't know.
I know that we had talked about redoing the carpet in here.
Yeah, it needs done
and-
bad.
And at least jacking up the back end again of the building here until we, I mean, we're here for a few minutes anyway. We're not gonna be able to build another one, another city hall in the next 2 years, so we do need to do that.
Carpet, maybe.
Right.
I don't know, because the carpet would be more of a,
I don't even.
Cleanliness
Yeah.
type thing.
yeah. I don't know about the back
Maybe I
end
gotta
of the
check the
building,
final.
though. I don't know.
There's some, there
Can
was
you
some-
can you do hardwoods or,
They were very lenient when it came to like employee pay at these funds, but it was like as far as like doing pay increases, but you have to look at like a longevity standpoint, because we had that conversation due to other departments.
I believe that you could
They got
do the
weird.
carpet, but I don't think you could do
Maintenance,
the
like.
back
Yeah.
end of the building. I don't think you could do that, but
like
just
road
because it was the CARES fund, but then
infrastructure was a big category. Like as far as-
infrastructure was a big deal, sanitation was
we have
another
enough
big
money
deal.
in our stuff to do the carpet and everything. We can just use this on the.
I would, yeah.
That way, because we
I would
already have
stick to the
projects that we can
infrastructure.
do. Okay, so we can do that. All right, so.
That'll be a safe bet, that way we can get this budget approved.
Yeah,
I think we should date it like another 3 hours.
can I get a motion to amend our CARES grant, the proposed 2023 portion, and we want to keep the nonprofits at the 5,000 for a total of 25K, and then the remainder of it, which is 232,611, would go towards our city infrastructure, roads and streets. Can I get a motion to
I'll make
approve
a
that?
motion to approve that.
I'll
David?
second.
James, all in favor? Unanimous, okay.
I'll make a motion to
I make
adjourn.
a motion to adjourn. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous, thank you.